everybody, it's Jeff with my parents' house and AZ Camera Reviews, and today we're going to be doing kind of a crossover show. I was here working at the house and this ergonomic desk showed up, and I figured, what the heck, I might as well unpack it. So I'm doing this with my cell phone so I can get it finished and get this thing put together. So what we'll do is kind of a time-lapse thing. The thing weighs like 68 pounds, so I had to bring it in on a dolly. They left it out front. So let's just kind of open it up. I know there's a lot of echo in here. I don't have my wireless mic because I'm just kind of doing this off the cuff today. But let's see what we got in the box. Let's open it up and we'll put it together, and you can see how it goes together and what's in the box. Okay, we open it up, and let's see what we got here. Let's see, you've got, it looks like the top, and I really didn't want white. I had ordered wood, natural wood look, but this is white. But I'm probably going to end up substituting the top anyway at some point, so I'm really more interested in the mechanism than I am in the top. So let's take this, let's put this aside, and there's some foam in here, and there's another piece. Okay, and this probably is the back. I haven't read the instructions yet, so I don't know what the heck we got here. This looks like it's some sort of an interface box. Let's see here. Then you've got, this is the control that goes on the front of the desk so you can raise your height, and it's got some presets. And then, let's see what we got here. This is the actual power supply. Okay. This looks like it's the main support. And what I'll probably do is stop down once I unload the box, and I'll take pictures of all the stuff, and then we'll resume. So this is probably the tie bar, because this only has one motor and has to have a way of connecting the gears on both sides. So the motor will go on one, and then this will go onto the other one, the other side, to help it crank up. And this is one leg, and this is the leg with the motor. Okay. Down. Like I said, I want to apologize. I don't have my wireless mics here today, and I just kind of wanted to get this box out of here and get it together. This is some sort of an electrical knob or something. We'll find out what that is later. And this is part of the desk top. And this is the other leg, and the pole that I showed you before fits into here, and that's how it ties them both together. Okay, here's another top support. Instruction manual. These look like the feet. This is another foot. What we got here. This is a bag of parts. It says a foot pad and some other and sundry items. And then we've got a power cord right here. And that looks like all that's in the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop down here. Oh, and I got an $80 gift card. Anyway, so that's it. I'm going to lay the stuff out for you guys now so you can see what everything looks like, all the parts, and then we'll resume. So now here are all the parts laid out. You've got all your small parts, your screws, the levelers for the feet, and your manual. Then you've got the top of the desk. You've got the connection for the bottom of the desk. Then you've got your electronic components. You've got your two legs. One has the motor on the left-hand side. You've got the braces for the top of the desk. Then you've got your connection rod. And last but not least, the bottom or the feet for the desk. Okay, so now I've got everything all moved aside and I'm ready to start putting this thing together. The first thing I'm going to do is just take these things out of the way. And these are the levelers for the bottom of the feet. As I mentioned, everything is in all these nice little bags. So I'm going to put this over here. We're going to need, first thing is these wooden pins. And the other thing we're going to need is these 4.8 screws. There's 22 of them. So these are the first two things we're going to need. And we're also going to need these. They're connected board times 3. That's what they say. So what we'll do first is we'll take these 4 pegs out of the bag, and they're gonna go together in these holes. Now normally I'd probably glue them, but I'm not going to, because it doesn't say to glue them. So, and there's going to be those metal bars going between them. So I think we'll be good to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to insert this into the 4 holes on the opposing piece. Bring them together like so. And I'm going to tilt this up. And let's see, get this out. Okay, I think that's the best we're going to do on this. It's not a tight fit, but it's okay. And I'm going to break these bad boys out of the bag. I'm going to place them in the proper places. Now, since this is press board, you probably want to have your drill set pretty light, because if it's too heavy, you're just going to drill the heck out of the thing, and then you're not going to be able to have any torque on the screws, because what will happen is they'll just come through the wood. So initially I'm going to set it for a 4, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we'll put the screws in, and here we go. We're going to shift into high gear. This one just needed a little bit of more torque because it wasn't drilled in as far, and it feels as though this one's going to need the same. Okay, we're going to go back to our original setting, and we will continue. Looks like my batteries are getting low. It looks like my light just went off. There we go. Looks like I need a reload. I'll be right back. So now I've got a new battery on the drill, and we're going to continue putting these connectors on like we were before. Okay, so now we've got the desktop put together. I've got a few screws left over, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them back in the bag so I don't lose them. And now what we're going to start doing is connecting the feet to the actual motor, so, or the base. So these are what the feet look like. There's two of them. This is the feet. And what we're going to do is first we'll put these levelers on the bottom, these, and we'll stick these on here, screw those on. And then we'll put the other two on the other feet. Now we surely know that this is the bottom, this is the top part of the actual feet. So now what we'll do is we're going to pick up one of these. These are kind of heavy, and it says HisoHu. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. And in the bottom of this, it comes with 4 Allen screws already. So what you want to do is you want to mount this so that this is going to be to the inside. So what we'll do is we'll turn this upside down and we will slide it. There's like little keyholes, keyways in there, and you'll slide this on, and it looks as though some of them are screwed down enough, but I'm going to have to take the Allen keys that it comes with, and there's 2 different sizes of Allen keys, and this looks like the smaller one. And what we're going to do is unscrew them a little bit so that the feet will actually slide on. Okay, so now we're going to do that, and you can see it slid on. Now I'm going to tighten it up. Okay, and now I'll just use the small part of the key, put it in the hole, and we'll tighten that real good. All right, so now we've got the first one done, and now we're going to do the second one. So first thing we'll do is we'll reach over and grab this bad boy. Okay. And we will slide it into the keyhole like we did before. And it looks like we need to loosen this one up a little bit. Okay, and slide it on, and we'll tighten them up. Now we'll reverse the key so we can get a little more torque on these screws. Okay. Okay, now those are all tight. So now I'm going to show you what we have to do with this main girder. Now the main girder goes between both legs. And there's some interesting things that you should know about this when trying to install it. One is there's a face on it here. And you can see there's a little keyway in this. And what's going to happen is this is going to slide over the screw. And then in the back side of this, there's a little round hole, and you're going to access the screw that's on this side through this hole. And then there's these 2 screws right here, and they're going to fit in a keyway on the legs. So let's go check that out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is flip these 2 legs around. I'm going to change places so that I can show you how this goes together. It's starting to get kind of heavy, so I'll show you this. Now, remember I explained to you that there's like a keyway here. You can see these right here. Let me come in and show you. Oops. Don't want to knock that over. Okay, you can kind of see there's like a small keyway there. Okay, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to set this down. And then I mentioned to you about the keyway on the back side of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this into the keyway for this, and then pull it back and it'll lock in. Okay, and we'll move this out just a little bit. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to start at the back side of this, click these into the holes. Always tricky working from the other side. There we go. And now that's clicked in. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the Allen key and we're going to tighten them up. Okay, so now I'm going to tighten up the screws on here, but one thing I want to tell you, the Allen key that they give you in this kit goes bad pretty quick. So I ended up using my good quality Allen key, and it makes things a lot easier. What happens is the end of these things strip out once you've tightened up the screws a couple of times, and it doesn't last. So I'm using my good Allen key here. And what I'm going to do is put this in here first. And I'm going to tighten this bad boy up. And that one's nice and tight. Okay, and you also, it's a longer key, so you get a little more leverage. Okay. And we'll tighten this guy up. And we'll tighten this guy up. Okay, these are both nice and tight. And now we'll do the same thing on this side. I'm going to come around to the other side here because I can't see it from the back. So pardon my back. Let's take this side and see if it'll do it. Yep, somebody's at the door. Well, that was my neighbor. He just called me over and invited me for dinner. So I'll tell you what, let's finish doing this and then I'm gonna take a quick break. So we already have this one tightened up. This one's nice and tight. And this one's nice and tight. Okay, we'll be back in a little while. Well, I'm back from dinner. I had a great dinner. It was this beautiful pork loin with a salad and rice and peas, as you can see. Okay, so now we're gonna turn this around and I'm gonna show you how to install the drive. So let's just pick this up, okay, and turn it around. Oh, there goes my Allen wrench. And I'll turn this around like so. Okay. And I'll show you how to do this drive. So before, I had mentioned that I had found this little piece rolling around inside the box. And I finally realized what it is. It goes on the other end of this rod, and there's a threaded hole. So what you do is you just kind of screw it in. And this will hook onto the opposing leg for the gear transfer. So basically, you've got the rod here, and what you're going to do is you're gonna stick this expands. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to stick this in this hole and get it set up right, and then you're going to expand it. Then you're going to stick this one in and make sure that they're evenly spread out. Okay, so that one's in there. This one's screwed in tight, and that's screwed down tight. Okay, and this has to be the same. And now, that's how you set up your drive. So now this side has the motor, and this side has another gear to bring the table up and down. So now we're ready for the next step. We're going to put on the top supports for the desktop, and those are going to attach on either side. And what you're going to do is you're going to be using the flat-headed M6 screws. So what we're going to do is there's 4 of those in here, and it says M6 20s times 4, and we're going to use those. And basically what we'll do is I'm just going to empty them out into my hand because it's not hard to handle 4 screws. And what you're going to do is you're going to line up these 2 holes right here directly on the top of this, and you're going to put it on the outside, so this part is facing out. You'll line up your holes like this. Okay, let me find my holes. Okay, let's see here, there they are. And we will put 1 screw in, and then we'll put the other screw in, like that. Okay, now I'm going to use my Allen wrench, and we'll put that in the hole. We'll tighten that one down a little bit. We'll tighten this one down a little bit. Come on, get in there, there we go. And now I'll use the other side of my key so I can torque it, like so. Okay, that one's good and tight. And this one's good and tight. And now we'll take the other bracket, just like we did on this side. We'll lay that on top. We'll line up the holes. Put it on the bottom of my, here we go, and there's one. Wait a second, I didn't have it in there quite good enough. There's one. And come on. There we go, there's 2. Tighten them up. Okay, and tighten this one up a little more. And now we'll use the short end, and we'll tighten these guys up. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to install the hook that goes on the left-hand side. Now inside this package, and the package is marked M45 screws. There's 2 of them in here. Actually, the hook is in here and there's 2 screws in here. And in the instructions, it says that you can install it with the Allen wrench, but you can't. You need a Phillips or X screwdriver. You need one of these. And I'm going to move around to the other side now and show you how to install this hook. So what we'll do is, first thing, I'm going to stick the screw inside the hook like this. And I noticed that the screws are a little small. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to line it up in the hole, which is not as easy as you might think. Here we go, I think I got it. There we go. And the first screw's gone in, and we're gonna leave it kind of loose. Okay, and now we'll take the second screw and put it on the end of the screwdriver, just dropped it. We'll take the second screw, put it on the end, put it in the hole, like that. We'll put this on, and we'll tighten them both up. Okay, make sure it's good and centered. Okay, and now we're ready to put the top on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now flip this over, and then we'll show how to put the top on. Okay, so as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes here and 4 holes on this side. And inside the actual table legs for the top, you've got 4 more holes that have rubber grommets in them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to line up those holes on those 4 holes that are in the actual tabletop. So let's just line those up with those rubber grommets. Okay, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use these M6 18 screws. There's 12 of them. And we're going to use this Allen key, and we're going to put those in. Okay, now there's also 2 more that you're going to line up here also. So don't tighten these down, just put them in the holes, try to line them up the best you possibly can. Okay, so there we go. We'll do the 2 top ones first. Like that. And then we'll do this one. And we'll be back as soon as we get all these screws in. Okay, so now we've got all our screws in place. But something that I noticed is the motor orientation is incorrect. If you look at your instructions, it shows right here that the motor is supposed to be on the front side of the actual assembly. So as you can see here, there's the motor, there's the connection, the assembly that runs the gears to run the table up and down. And on this particular model, it's in the back, which poses a bit of a problem. So what we're able to do is we're able to take this power supply or this connection module, and there's 2 holes here which it will allow you to hook it up. The problem is this right here is supposed to mount on the back side of this. Now what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to mount it on the front side right here. So what you're going to have to do is we've got to screw both of these down. We've got to tie wrap this to this bar right here from the front side. Like I said, you can't do it from the back side as in the instruction. If you look at the instruction right here, it shows that this power box that I'm putting right here is supposed to go on this side. So that's another problem. So in order to make this work, what you have to do is you have to take your tie wrap, come from this side, and you need to secure it this way. Here, then what you're going to do is you're going to take this plug, you're going to line it up properly. There's a square side and there's a round side. And what you're going to do is you're going to plug this into the square side. You're going to secure it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this plug right here and you're going to plug that into your other unit. We're going to screw this down. Now the other thing is, this is your control. My advice would be for them to pre-drill some holes, so all you have to do is put this on. Instead, I'm going to have to drill a couple of holes, and I'll be back as soon as I got all this stuff hooked up and you can see what it looks like. Okay, so now you can see we've got everything hooked up. As I mentioned, this is in the way, so this can't go on this side of the bar. So we've had to make some modifications. Here's the interconnect. That's basically where it's supposed to be. We ran the wire underneath this bar, and we ran it across and did this here. This is the power supply. Right here is the actual controller, and then we've got our power cord. We're going to plug our power cord in, and we're going to hang it off this bar. As soon as we come back, you'll see how it works. So, before we crank this puppy up, there's two holes. There's one here and there's one here, and they gave you these two cable routers. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop those bad boys in. And something that I'm going to tell you about this is when it's sitting in standby and it's plugged in for a while, you won't see any green readout in here. What you have to do is you have to push the up or the down button first to get the light to come on. That shows that you have power. Now, in the readout, it shows you 70. That's 70 centimeters, which is supposedly 27.5 inches. So let's crank this bad boy up. Let's see how high it goes. Now, I'm 5'5". I'm a short guy, and we'll see how high it goes up. It runs up pretty smooth. It's not very noisy. There's a little bit of a whirring sound, but it's not bothersome. So this topped out at 115 centimeters. Now let's bring it down. Let's see what it sounds like going down. Now, as I said, I didn't use my wireless mics on this because I was just doing this off the cuff today. It showed up and I figured I would just put it together and show you folks how it worked. So, there you go. That's how this puppy works. And as always, I'm Jeff with AZ Camera Reviews and My Parents' House saying, please watch us, please like us, please share us, and most of all, please subscribe so then that way we can keep bringing you videos like this. Until next time, bye-bye.